What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tony D 2 Wild checking in from 2 Wild Guns, and we are on Guns and Tactics. And today, guys, we have the FLUX Raider by Killer Innovations. And what is the Killer Innovations FLUX Raider? Well, as you can see, it's a pretty extreme decked out FLUX Raider, and it has a lot of different parts from Killer Innovations that can be put together to deck out the most perfect FLUX Raider on the market. The FLUX Raider itself by FLUX is the chassis system that allows you to put the P320 FCU within it, but the components that go along with it, like the slide, the charging handle, the compensator, as well as the extended base plates for the P320 magazine, is brought to you all by Killer Innovations. And also, last but not least, one of the most, in my opinion, accurate pistol barrels on the market, the SPT barrel by Killer Innovations. Now, we ran this thing, we put several hundred rounds through it, and we're definitely going to be doing follow-ups in the near future, so stay tuned for that. But what we got here today is something extremely decked out as one of the best, in my opinion, FLUX Raiders that you can pretty much put together with all the necessary attachments and assemblies. And what that is of course the SPT barrel that we talked about, which is the single process technology barrel. Now, this is something like cutting edge that I actually sat down with Killer Innovations and talked to them about and learned the whole entire process of how these barrels are made to give you some of the most precise, accurate barrels coming from a handgun and a pistol, which we have here with the FLUX Raider. And I actually have some paperwork, some tech sheets to talk about, because I want to kind of explain the process so that you guys can understand, and we're also going to go dive deeper into the actual build itself. So what is the SPT? So SPT stands for Single Process Technology and Single Point Technology. Single Process Technology means the bore, rifling, and chamber are cut in one high precision machine without human interference. Single Point Technology means that the rifling is cut using the legendary and painstaking single point cutting technology. This single point cutting rifle process requires a single cutter to make 120 individual cuts to accurately rifle each bore. Single point cutting yields identical grooves that have less than 0.001 deviation between each other because they are being cut with the same exact cutter. So no moving from one cutter to the other or switching or touching anything around that knocks everything off. In one single process, the rifling is made so that everything perfectly aligns, making a very extremely accurate barrel for a very extremely accurate spin on that bullet. Typical barrels you got are usually made from button barrels or the standard cut rifling. Now, I'm not a super engineer in tech, but understanding and seeing the actual cutter itself and understanding a little bit about the process, you can see where having something that is less touched by human is less error, that becomes more precise, and extreme accuracy comes and follows along with that. And then the next thing we have also is, of course, their P320 slide. Now, this is a brand new slide that they're in collaboration with FLUX on, and it has a lot of dope features on it, as you can see. One is their EGF cut. That is the enhanced grip feature that you can see obviously here, a lot of different cuts and routes that help out with that. That's a little bit different than your typical serration, but it allows for a lot of different grooves and extra grip features that you can utilize to charge the weapon when need be. And what we're running on this one in particular is a P320C slide, which features a really nice RMR optic footprint, so you can run your RMRs. You don't need any plates or anything like that, but it also has the Delta Point Pro if you want to go with that OG SIG footprint. You can also have it in window cuts or without the windows if you want to get that with or without, if you want to be a little bit lighter. It's up to you. It's made out of 17.4 stainless steel, and the slide weight is 8.2 ounces. Now, with that said, man, we have all these little pieces here. We also have the compensator that is easily screwed on to the end of a barrel, so it doesn't have to be timed. It's precisely just screwed on, very easy to assemble and very easy to lock down. And you can also make slight adjustments on how much of that compensator if you want. You can go all the way back to have a very big port, or go up further to have a more tighter port for less overall compensation. So it's really up to you how you want to do it. These right now is all the way down, a very open port, which in my opinion had no rise whatsoever, made it even more precise in my humble opinion. And I honestly think when it comes to the FLUX Raider in this particular size and compactness, I'd rather have a compensator over your suppressor or anything of that nature sticking out. I like the super compact feeling, and I like it a lot. And I'm gonna be honest, and say that I like it more than the typical Legion one. One thing in particular that I've always stated about that why I like this though is because the Legion, I like it a lot, don't get me wrong, but I do not like the fact that the barrel is not sticking out all the way, because I feel like I'm gonna run into an issue where I could potentially shoot my thumb off if I don't grab it at the right place when need be. You're not gonna have this issue with this FLUX Raider right here. You also have a base plate that extends your magazines right here. These are your typical, I believe, 17 rounds, and it extends it up like to 21 or 22 with the base plates. It's your typical overall pistol frame chassis system, but we have a lot of decked out goodies to go along with it. We're running it with also an acro, which is also a very nice and precise dot that pairs very well with this overall chassis system, as well as with the slide and the compensator. And one of the best parts about this particular slide that is an issue for every other one out there is that the charging handle. The velocity itself, the slide is meant to have this charging handle built in on it without any huge type of tooling, right? So the charging handle that you see here has been utilized on other P320 slides out there, usually with the removing of the front sight. You have to knock that out and then put in some sort of horn just like this, but putting it in on the front sight or on the side or wherever you choose to do. Or there's some that start here but they come off on the side right here. This one in particular, the slide itself is extremely easy to just put on. All you need is an Allen key, and you just unscrew the top and you can easily put it on the side right here. You slide it in and there's a little dimple on the side. You screw that down and it locks it straight in place. So you got the charging handle on the top, you got a charging handle on the side here if you want, or on this side right here. The charging handle on the top, the charging handle anywhere. This is a charging handle in general on the FLUX Raider, in my opinion, is a game changer. Because over time, having to do it this way, it gets annoying. It gets extremely hot when you shoot it a lot. With this, you could just simply boom, and you're ready to go. It makes everything extremely easier to go ahead and just shoot with. I've known about their compensators for quite some time, and it's the first time I actually shot one. And this thing overall just pairs very well with this overall build. And I think that the FLUX Raider itself is a great chassis system to tag along. And what Killer Innovations is doing is building out, in my opinion, with the necessary things that they got here, and also has not been put out, but like I stated before, they have their FLUX Raider collaboration slide that I do not know if it's out yet. It may be coming out, or it may be already out by the time of this video. Just stay tuned. But with that said, you are gonna have a complete package, and then the SPT barrel to go along with it. You really cannot go wrong. I'll show you some footage. You can see I was knocking shots on a 1-inch orange plate. I want to say maybe out to like 35 yards or something like that. Look, I'm not the best shooter at all, but that was impressive enough for me, and I can't do that back to back as I was. Maybe I could, but with a pistol just like straight up, maybe I could. Maybe I don't need to doubt myself, but I gotta say this, it was extremely easy just to do it the way we were doing it. It comes in this package here though, as stated before. This is the bag it was coming in, a saver bag. And to not confuse you guys, this is not something that is just purchased as a one-time unit. No, like everything is separate. So maybe you don't want a compensator, maybe you don't want the slide. You can kind of pick and choose your poison at the end of the day. But this is a build that we put together alongside with Killer Innovations for the FLUX Raider, and I think it's extremely decked out, and in my opinion, it's one of the best FLUX Raider builds that you can make right now currently. Nothing that you can change with. I actually like these mags a little bit more. Yes, I like the higher capacity magazines. I like them, they're cool and all that, but this is good enough. It doesn't stick out as much, so you have a more compact feel. When I instantly grab the gun, I don't have to worry about my thumb accidentally getting too close to the end of the barrel. Like, everything is good to go. So a very overall solid build, solid items. But the one thing in particular that I really do like, and something that I'm gonna look into just alone aside from that, is these SPT barrels, because the way it's been described and explained on the standard cuts of barrels, and then now what SPT does, and seeing it firsthand when shooting this, it's a very nice aftermarket upgrade that I think is dope. So extremely dope there. So yeah, we're gonna definitely do some more with this. We're gonna do some follow-ups in the near future on this bad boy. You put about, I wanna say 500 to 600 rounds through this. Thank you guys as always. I appreciate you guys. And if you have any questions, let me know down below in the comment section. I love y'all, I appreciate y'all. I'm out. Peace.